Hi guys, this is Miss Elkins. I'm going to give you some notes today about the different types of numbers that we work with in 6th grade math. And you may have already seen the video about classifying rational numbers. This is going to be a little tricky because you're not going to be able to recreate what I'm doing in my notes. So just watch this video. I will put the paper copy of this in if you want to print it out, but you're not required to print this. Just you can go back and refer to this video. Hopefully it will help. So let's start with defining a rational number. A rational number is any number that can be written as a fraction. And pretty much any number we work with can be written as a fraction. For instance, the number 4/3 is a rational number. It's in proper fraction, but it's still a fraction. The number 1/3 is a rational number because you can write it as a rational number, as a fraction. The number 1/3 is also equal to the decimal 33 hundredths repeating, or 3/10 repeating, however you want to write it. It's 0.333 for the end of time. So both of those are considered rational numbers. Even if it's negative, if it has a fraction with it or a decimal with it, it's considered a rational number. So the decimal 4 1/10 is a rational number, the same way the number 4 1/10, or the number -4 and the fraction 1/10. All of those are rational numbers, okay? Because you can write them as a fraction. Now let's talk about the next category. This is a little smaller category because rational numbers is all the numbers we work with. Integers are the whole numbers and their opposites. Let's talk about opposites for just a minute. The opposite of 1 is -1. The opposite of 3 is -3. The opposite of 17 is -17. All of these numbers are integers. This set also includes 0. But if there's a decimal with it, it's not an integer. It's just a rational number. Okay? The next set is even smaller still. This is a set of whole numbers. These are numbers without, they don't have fractions. No fractions are whole numbers. Decimals. A decimal is not a whole number. It's a part of a number. And negatives. If it's a negative number, it's considered an integer. So this set is smaller still than the set of integers and a lot smaller than the rational number category. Some examples. Oh, and this set also includes 0. Oops, I got to spell that right. Includes the number 0. So some examples of whole numbers are 0, 1, 7, 28, 13 million. Is any number that's just a whole number. Okay? Now, the smallest set of all is called natural numbers. Natural numbers are the numbers you use to count with, also called the counting numbers. This is the smallest category of all, even though it goes to infinity. It doesn't include 0, it doesn't include integers, and it doesn't include rational numbers. Natural numbers are only whole numbers without 0. So, numbers like this, 5/1, can be simplified down to the whole number 5, and you can count to 5, so that's a natural number. So the set of natural numbers would include 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on to infinity. Okay, let's talk about how these numbers go into a Venn diagram. In a Venn diagram, the set of rational numbers is the biggest set. And remember, in a Venn diagram, you always want to put your number in the most specific category. So if I gave you a number like 4/2, it would go in the natural numbers category because it simplifies down to 2, which is a whole number, and you can use it to count, and it's not 0. If I gave you the number 10/5, it also simplifies down to 2, which makes it a counting number. The only difference between whole numbers and natural numbers is 0. So any form of 0 would go into the whole numbers category, and that's all, because if you have natural numbers, all the whole numbers are more specifically natural. So the number 0 goes into whole numbers, and it could come in different forms. 0 divided by 7, 0 and 0/10. That's still a whole number. The only thing that goes in the whole number category is numbers that equal 0. So 0/9 is a whole number. 0 is about the only thing that'll go in that category if you have the category of natural numbers. Okay? Now let's talk about integers. Whole numbers are integers, but if it doesn't have a negative number with it, or it doesn't have a negative sign with it, then it goes in the whole numbers. If you have a whole number with a negative sign, then it goes into integers. So -2 is an example of an integer. -12/3 is also an example of an integer, because -12 divided by 3 would be -4. You might be given the fraction -4/1. That simplifies down to -4. So those are all integers. That's their most specific category. Everything else, except for the number pi, is considered a rational number. When you get into higher levels of math, you'll find out about different irrational numbers, but for now, we're talking about rational numbers. Any number that can be written as a fraction could go here. So the number 3/2, the number -3/2, the decimal -4 1/10, the fraction -13/7. If 13/7 would simplify down to a whole number, then it would go into integers, but it's not going to simplify as a whole number. So -13/7 is considered a rational number only. Okay, I hope this makes it clear for you. Email me if you have any questions. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.